Greetings and salutations, my name is JW608, and today I am playing StarMade. And I have a Corvette now. This F1G, so we can take a good look at it. I've not gone overboard, well, I've gone overboard, but I think I think I'm happy with the greebling on this one. Is this empty space? Right now, this front plate here, where all the weapons poke out and there's a camera in here somewhere. This is like 2 layers of standard and advanced and some more standard behind it. So this is like a shield, a big chunk of armor. So when you're fighting head-on, it has its shields, and it also has this solid hunk of metal protecting it from the squishy, or protecting the squishy insides from it. I have also reinforced some of the squishy inside, so if you were able to get a lucky shot clean through the gun, this chunk here would slow it down before it hit reactor bits. That's the theory, of course. How it works in actuality, not sure yet. Alright. I think I'm happy with this build. Not exactly the speed I wanted. The armor weighs a lot more than I thought it. Well, no, I knew it was going to weigh a lot, but it took up more than I really wanted. And I think I'm happy with the engines. Let's take her down and take a look at these engines. Playing with, I wanted to keep them square, but look better. I think I like that. And this is a weak point in the ship because all the thrusters are right here, and you can shoot clean into the rec room. You can take out the pool table, the TV, then come and hit this cargo storage, then you're hitting exterior wall. So let's take a gander at the top. Still, the top of the bridge is a little lackluster, but I experimented a little with these slopey type things. I still don't know how I feel about them. And just experimentation and all that jazz. Am I missing a block? I am missing a block of 1G. So let's let's unmiss that block. F1G. F1G, by the way, hides the HUD. Alright. And the bottom is my typical ship bottoms. They're not particularly elaborate. Although this one kind of has this curved portion. I like this ship, although I think it looks slightly misproportional. Like, this front piece should probably, the armor shield should probably be larger, and the engine should probably be longer. But I got what I got. Let's see, let's hop out. I think you saw the bridge before. We're going to do another sweep of the interior. Nice bridge. Because I had a hole in a bathroom, I think I fixed that on camera. Yep. Maybe not on camera, but I fixed the hole in the bathroom. There you go. It's a ledge for your soap. Shampoo, brush, whatever. And down the hall, I had the systems with this large empty bay room. I added a window to it. So now my ship is symmetrical. On the outside, a window meets up with the, or matches up with the USD on the other side. And that is the airlock you watched me build several episodes ago. I added a gravity block in here. Alright. And it's just an airlock, so nothing overly special. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Listen, a block there. No, I want. Oh, it's not gonna let me. Look, there we go. Unless. There we go. Alright. Does that let me slide? Yeah, this still lets me slide. How am I missing a block? Unless it changed something with symmetry mode on. Alright. And then down this way was stairs down. I don't think I changed anything in here. Again, we're doing a final sweep. I'm going to leave these rooms blank for right now. The bay and this room. So the captain or whatever, whoever uses the ship can designate what they're used for. Or the mission can designate what they're used for. And this way I have another bathroom. I have the mess hall, which I added windows and window controls. So you can actually close the windows now. In the rec room, I added a actual light switch. Lights are hardwired on in the mid. I can't talk. Lights are hardwired on in the mess, but you can turn them on in the rec room and close the blinds. All right. I also want to make sure this version has the right mid bay. See anything wrong with the bunks? Nope. 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 Probably should give them names. Nope. Nope. Mid bay. Somewhere along the line, I had symmetry mode on and filled this room with armor. That was a pain. Alright, but it looks good now. So the interior looks good. I have a few signs I need to do. Let's see, let's make our way back up to the bridge. You should always walk through your ship, because there's always something you're missing. And transporter and bathroom on the bridge level. Alright. So, a chair. And we're going to save this as QF Core 13. Actually, I want to save it as a... I'm going to save it as a finished ship. I know this looks a little bit different, or I don't like this flat spot there, that empty flat spot. But this is a Corvette. It's more or less an expendable ship. It's going to be the smallest in the capital E type ships, although it's not a capital ship. It's the smallest of the big ships. It's like a medium-sized vessel. So let's talk about what all I was able to do with this thing. My reactor, that doesn't tell you anything. Let's see, general, it's 104 meters long, 29 meters wide, and 25 meters tall. It comprises of almost 21,000 blocks, has a mass of 2.6 thousand. It is in the 608 Incorporated faction, anyway. Structure, reactor HP of 61,560, everything's fine. I'm generating 98,890 energy per second. Usage at idle is 33.8%. Thrusters. I was at over 5 thrust to mass. Then I dropped it down so I could actually fly the ship and still shoot. And I forgot what I dropped it to. But with the armor, that dropped it further to a 2.9, so top speed of 390.6. And I added a camera up here. So let's just fire that up to verify. Which is not the fastest ship on Earth, but it's going to be slower than a fighter because it's larger than a fighter. And I think that's part of QuickFire's design philosophy, is large ships should move slower, and I agree with that. It should take a lot more energy to move this ship, to move all this mass than it does a fighter, and to at a certain point it should cost a lot. So this will probably be the fastest of my capital ships because it's the smallest. I'm assuming a frigate will probably move at half this rate, and a battleship, it's basically going to be a station that jumps and has big guns. So the larger vessels are going to require turrets to help them out. Anyway, shields, I have 100,000 capacity with almost 2,000 recharge, so it's a very slow recharge, but a very high capacity. Don't know what that means. Well, I know what that means. I dumbed the missiles down to a capacity of 4 because firing a single missile beam, just holding it down, I think we talked about this last week, just holding it down, I uses 3 before it needs to be, or before the capacity's out, so 4 for good measure. So that way I can hold this button indefinitely and it will fire. So now my missiles can charge, my damage beam can fire, and I can use the thruster, all keeping me within 100%. Now when I turn my scanner on, that changes a bit. Keeps me at 98. Now the question is, do I really need to be at 98 power? Could I squeeze some more thrust out of this by, say, the damage beam and the missiles are firing, but the thrust, and, well, no, if I have scanner on and have everything, it's running at 80, okay. But how bad is it to be in the deficit? Let's see. Oh, that's a good way to check. My scanner is running. I'm going to fire the beam, fire a missile. At 120%, it almost dies before I hit, before the weapon recharges. And by dies, I mean my power consumption, power store, if you will. I think I'm in a new system. I'm in a new system. Alright, so let's scan that. And let's see, what do I want to do? I'm going to turn off my scanner. And let's add some more thrusters. So let's see, I believe there's a large empty cavity here. And let's turn lighten mode on. There we go. And this runs straight out. Okay. What's going on here? That's interesting. Okay. Little XY. So let's see, what are my thrusters at now? Max speed. Can I get it up to 400 max speed without hurting me too bad? So with weapons reach, hey, no, that still takes me to 99. Now the question is, am I going to have my scanner on for all this? And can I dumb down the scanner to, oh, hold on. And can I dumb down the scanner to save energy? Because I don't plan on just holding down the acceleration button when in combat, and I need to maneuver, but probably in short burst. That's what I'm thinking. You know, burst, let it recharge, burst, let it recharge, all that jazz. Up and let it, yeah, okay. I think that works. 400 is probably good for this ship, so we're gonna leave it there. We're also gonna stop accelerating and go to Galactic North. So I have just completed a big milestone, the first ship in the 608 QuickFire line, and now I have a ship to use as a benchmark for all my other ships. Typically I do that with a frigate, but I've also typically understood the system better. So I'm going to be using the Corvette as my basis, if you will. Fighter, anything smaller than a Corvette's probably going to be either a support ship or a fighter. Anything larger is probably going to be a primary attack vessel or battleship or something like that. A capital ship, if you will. And alright, this bothers me. I don't know why. So let's Let's do this. I'll make these half slabs. There we go. Stop moving. There you go. Yeah, I like that better. Just breaks those two planes. Except I would like, is that half slab? There, that's better. Alright. So, I think we've made a big accomplishment. Now, what do I want to call this thing? I want it to be a 608 Corvette. Except I already have a 608 Corvette, so let's see here. How about we call it a Salamander class Corvette? No. I want an Ember class. Is that how you spell Ember? Hold on. Is it Ember or Ember? Ember. Or isn't he terrible? I'm a terrible speller. Yeah. For whatever reason, I wanted to put an A. So this is going to be an Ember class Corvette. I think I'm going to use fiery type themes for my naming conventions. So instead of just calling this a 608 Corvette 2 or whatever I call the other dumb things, this is going to be an Ember class Corvette. Alright, so compared to the old Corvette, I can see... let's pull him up. And I've done a little testing, and yes, a Corvette can kill itself. It can also kill its predecessor. Actually, you can rip its predecessor up pretty good. Now, it takes it a while, but it can do it. And this is basically what I'm going to base my attacks. It's going to be more or less my weapons testing. This is going to be a Ember class Corvette now. Because this ship here is probably dying faster because it doesn't have the power to recharge its shields properly. Whereas the Corvette I'm in now doesn't have that problem. I also chose not to do AMS turrets on the Ember class. Because it's such a small profile. It's a smaller ship than that one. I don't think it needs it. Also, it moves pretty good, or pretty quick. We're going to leave the AMS turrets for larger ships. Or slower ships. Anywho, I have been JW608. This has been StarMade. And this has been the Ember class Corvette. I'll dig you cats later. Ah, you can screen cap this for a wallpaper.